Hi guys, welcome to more of Making My Brother Play Otome games. Last time we left off, we found out that Ito and his men decided to split off from the Shinsengumi and have their own group called the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. And also that Saito and Hesuke had decided to go with him.
Yeah.
Yep.
For some silly reason.
For some silly reason, we're trying to figure that out. Here we go.
Hesuke apparently because they used to be chums in school, and Saito apparently...
Ito is a senpai.
is joining Ito and his men serves his own ambition. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's find out more about why or how this serves his own ambition.
Are you a national imperialist too?
Yes. Kondo and Hijikata are well-intentioned, but mistaken. The expulsion of the foreign influence can no longer be left to the shogunate.
And because you don't agree with them, you're willing to walk away and never see them again? Saito nodded.
It can't be helped. If I must set my feelings for the Shinsengumi aside in order to fulfill my ambitions, then I will.
But
Cold, man. Cold.
Choices!
Want them to stay!
Are you sure you won't change your mind? Stay here with the Shinsengumi? I can't be the only person who doesn't want you to go. We all like you. Aren't the Shinsengumi your friends? I knew they had their reasons to go, but I had my own reasons, and I wanted them to stay. There was still time. If I could just convince them, make them understand, then they wouldn't have to go away. Please, Hesuke, Saito.
Don't say that. It took a long time and a lot of hard thinking to decide to do this. Is that all you had to say? Then please excuse me. Ooh, Saito,
But if you go,
cold.
then you might have to fight the Shinsengumi someday. I made one last desperate attempt, but Saito simply shrugged it aside.
As I said, my ambition comes before my emotions.
Saito. And he's out. But his mind was made up. There's nothing I could say to change it. The choices, by the way, were either basically appealing to their emotions and appealing to their sense of honor, basically. So that's why this ended up being the Hesuke choice.
Okay.
And actually, I'm starting to think about it now. You might end up on Hesuke's route. Maybe.
Dun dun dun.
Bum bum bum. We'll see. I don't know if you'll have enough points.
He's sure tough.
His eyes followed Saito as he walked away. Do you feel the same way? Can you just forget about your feelings? Would it be so easy for you to fight your friends? He screwed up his face in frustration. Hesuke was honest and straightforward, but he didn't have a way with words the way some of the other men did.
Hey, why don't we go to the courtyard?
He wasn't avoiding my question precisely. Perhaps he wanted to buy some time to think about his response. All right, let's go.
It's, gotten really warm.
How about them Yankees? He lifted his face to the sky for a moment.
The two things. Let's try and avoid a conversation.
Weather?
Sports and the weather.
Yeah. Yep. It was a cool, clear blue, and warm rays of sunlight washed down on us.
Let's sit down here.
Okay. CG! I lowered myself down next to him.
I know that, well, pretty much everybody else doesn't like Ito very much.
Yep.
But I don't really think he's wrong. At least not completely.
I'm sure he's not. But not wrong and trustworthy were two very different things. Was he really worth leaving the Shinsengumi to follow? I opened my mouth to ask, but one look at Hesuke told me he was about to answer my unspoken question. I closed my mouth.
The Emperor? The Shogun? Who's right? Who's wrong? I don't think we'll really know who had the right idea until it's all over. I know Ito has some sort of plan that he hasn't told us about yet.
Then...
But I feel like I can do something good for our country with Ito. I have to see if I'm right. That's why, for now at least, I want to go with him.
Hesuke.
Look, there's something you gotta understand. It's not like I hate all the guys now or something.
Okay. I understood what he was saying, but my heart felt like a cold, twisted lump in my chest. I didn't want to accept it. I couldn't. I know, I wanted to stay with you longer, Hesuke.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to know you feel like that.
We're buddies.
We're chums.
Oh.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I'm not gonna be sad to leave you, but that doesn't mean that, Look, this is hard for both of us, okay? But it's something I gotta do. I'm a man, too.
The last part was delivered little more than a mumble, and I noticed he blushed as he said it. I understand, Hesuke. So I wasn't the only one who would feel the loneliness of being apart then. In some strange way, that made me happy.
And thanks for everything, alright?
Thank you for telling me how you really feel. I appreciate it.
Whew. Glad to hear it.
A point.
A point. I just wanted to, make sure we were clear on that.
His smile was relieved.
Oh, sorry. I can't stick around until you find your dad.
No, it's alright. Don't worry about it. Just be careful, Hesuke.
Yeah, I know. I won't throw my life away. I promise.
And there he goes. My wound healed completely soon afterward, but I kept the bandages on. I got plenty of questions about how I was recovering, but the best I could do was nod, smile, and assure them that I was fine. The truth was, I didn't even have a scar. I couldn't have pointed out where on my arm I'd been cut if someone had asked me. When Ito and his followers, now the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, left, the compound seemed suddenly very empty. I felt like the Shinsengumi was falling apart around me, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Was this nothing more than a natural result of the Shinsengumi's growth? Or the harbinger of something far greater and more terrible? Bum bum bum! July 1867.
That's my line.
I should go to sleep, as if chiding myself would help. My mind was wide awake. I wasn't falling asleep anytime soon.
I know how she feels.
Same. But why? I was nervous, certainly, and I trained earlier that day, but none of those was anything new. I needed to get to sleep soon, or I'd oversleep in the morning, and that would be embarrassing. As I forced my eyes shut for the 1000th time, I heard the door to my room slide open.
Swish. Are you awake?
No, I'm tap dancing.
Exactly.
Yes. The voice outside belonged to Hijikata. I scrambled to my feet.
Scrabble, scrabble, scrabble.
Scramble, scramble. What is it?
Don't come in, I'm naked. You have a visitor.
A visitor? Who would come to visit me?
You'll see. Hurry up.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Wasn't trying to sleep or anything. I shuffled down the hallway after him and burst into the common room. Kondo, Okita, Harada, Nagakura, all the top men in the Shinsengumi were there, and so was someone else. Hello, Naomi! How are you doing? Sen? My visitor was Sen? We'd met in Kyoto proper some time ago. She was near my age, but had a unique and overwhelming personality which had allowed her to see right through my disguise. But why had she come to the Shinsengumi? Only then did I notice a beautiful woman dressed as a ninja seated next to Sen. Oh yes, she's with me! My bodyguard, one might say. Bodyguard? They answered nothing and only prompted more questions. The captains kept silent, content to simply observe our conversation. Whatever was about to transpire, it seemed they intended to leave the decision to me. So, Sen, why are you here? I've come to take you! That had not been on the short list I'd begun to compile of reasons Sen had sought my company in the middle of the night. A quick glance around the room revealed it had not been on anyone else's either. Pardon? I don't understand what you're saying. No,
What you don't understand is the situation. But you needn't worry. You do trust me, don't you?
We've met you once.
Met you one time, lady. One time.
We know nothing
Once.
about you.
We've never really known you.
Nope. I certainly didn't suspect her of anything untoward, but...
There's no time. We must make preparations to leave immediately.
Silent until that moment, the woman at Sen's elbow finally spoke.
She's at her elbow.
At her elbow.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Why should I go with you?
Yeah, that's a damn good question. You just barge in here, ask to see her, and spring this on us. Oh, shit.
All protective.
I think it's about time you told us what the hell's going on here.
Please, Sen. I didn't let my gaze waver from her eyes. Explain.
Yes, I do suppose you have a point. Very well. I should begin at the beginning.
She cast her gaze around the room. This explanation was not simply for my benefit.
You are familiar with Kazuma, yes? I hear you have crossed swords with him once or twice.
How'd you know that?
Oh, well, I hear most of the things that happen in Kyoto eventually.
You're something like Kazuma and his punks, aren't you?
I would rather prefer not to be associated with his ilk, but yes, in a sense, you are correct.
Oh?
Wait, she's got red eyes.
They are kind of reddish, yeah.
Kinda reddish.
Kind of reddish.
Kinda like Kazuma and his creepy-ass group.
Hey, Amagiri has blue eyes. So.
Fine. You were talking about Kazuma.
I think Shirami's are purple, actually. Anyway.
He showed up at Ikeda, Hamaguri, and Nijo. He's got something to do with Satsuma and Choshu, doesn't he? Well, most of the time it seemed more like he was there for his own reasons, not any kind of domain politics.
True.
Either way, he's an enemy of the Shinsengumi.
He definitely doesn't seem to like them any.
Then you are...
Then you're also aware that he's pursuing your lady friend here.
Sen gestured at me for the captain's benefit. They then fixed me with a level stare. What was going on? This is getting stranger and stranger, and I was starting to think I didn't really want to know the rest of the story.
We are aware of that. We are also aware that Kazuma and his compatriots call themselves demons. Not that we're inclined to believe such a claim, of course. Regardless, we must consider it. They have demonstrated several times that they have strength and skill beyond any human. Look who's talking, Sanan.
Yeah.
Sanan. Ah! Guess you'd know, huh, Sanan?
The room grew slightly more uncomfortable. I didn't think Ukita had meant to offend with his remarks, but... So, go on, Sen.
Then you know there are demons. Excellent. That will save me some time then. I'm not a human either. I am also a demon.
A demon? Sen was a demon?
I am. In fact, a princess. Princess Sen.
The encyclopedia has been updated.
Princess Sen. With that, she gave us an elegant bow, exactly like one might expect from a princess.
I come from a family of ninja who have served Princess Sen and her family for generations.
I'd wondered why you were being so friendly. You were gathering information on the Shinsengumi.
I have no idea what you mean.
She says with a smile. She tilted her head to the side politely and met Hijikata's glare with an innocent smile.
You know her? Move your eyes up about 6 inches, Shinpachi. That's Kimigiku. She's dressed a little different from when we met her at Shimbara, but that's her face alright.
Where were you looking, Shinpachi?
Poor Shin. What?
Nagakura nearly fell over in shock. After recovering, he made a great show of staring pointedly at Kimiku's face. For his effort, he received a smile identical to the one Hijikata had received.
The demons have lived in this country since a very long time ago. The top officials in the shogunate and in many of the domains already know of us.
It was still something of a shock, but after meeting Kazuma and his companions, it was somewhat easier to accept Sen's explanation as the truth.
Most demons have no interest in human matters, and prefer to be left alone, to go about their own affairs in peace. However, humans in position of power saw that they might achieve great things with the assistance of demons, and so demanded that assistance.
And did the demons obey?
Many did not. They felt that they had no obligation to involve themselves in human affairs. Human ambition meant nothing to them. But when they refused, the human lords were furious. They sent out great armies to destroy the villages of the demons.
How horrible.
The demon clans scattered across the country, and were perforce sent into hiding.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
You're doing good.
No longer isolated in their own communities, demons began to mate with humans. These days there are few demons who can claim a pure bloodline.
And I assume Kazuma is one of these?
Sen nodded.
Currently, the largest pure-blood family in the West is the Kazuma, who have the support of the Satsuma domain. The head of that family you have already met, Chikage Kazuma.
Chikage Kazuma.
In the east, the largest family is the Yukimura.
What?
I had heard the Yukimura family had been destroyed, but it would seem that there is a survivor. That survivor is her.
Well, well.
Naomi, the blood that runs in your veins is pure and strong. I sense great power from you.
No way, but...
No, you are very much a demon. I apologize, but there it is.
And the encyclopedia has been updated about you. The finality of her words brought a cold silence to the room. I had no desire to believe her story, but the more I thought back to events that had seemed utterly nonsensical, the more it made sense. Now I knew why Kazuma was after me, and why I'd always healed so much more quickly than anyone else.
If Naomi is indeed the descendant of a pure-blooded demon, then Kazuma's desire for her is clear. Should two purebloods mate, they will produce an even more powerful demon.
Ah, so he wants her for his bride.
More or less.
After a fashion, yes. Kazuma will definitely return for her. Thus far, he's been content to toy with you, but I cannot guess how much longer that may last. Should he devote all of his formidable abilities to this task, I do not think you will be able to protect her. Even the Shinsengumi cannot stand against the true power of a demon.
Whoa there, princess. You don't think that's going a bit far? Shinpachi's right. You aren't giving us enough credit.
The only reason you are still alive is because Kazuma and his companions have not turned their full strength on you.
Sorry. Getting flipped back
Getting a
and
little
forth
confused.
here. This is getting a little difficult.
You're doing good, though.
Then let them. I should dearly like to see the power of a true demon.
Sonin? I don't think that's something
Gutsy
you want.
bastard.
Kazuma and his friends had already demonstrated incredible strength. Even the captains of the Shinsengumi had been easily brushed aside. If that was not even the full extent of their strength, then a battle to the death against one of them would be...
Fun! Let me be clear, lady. We're the Shinsengumi, the wolves of the Mibu. We're not going to piss ourselves over a demon or two.
We've got this.
Ooh, Ichikata's a badass. Very true. Besides, we've got the demon himself in command, don't we? Always have to have the last word, don't you?
Yep, he does.
Yes, he does.
I understand how you feel, but You must realize that these men are unlike any other foe you have faced before. That is why I must ask you to leave Naomi to us. In our care, her chances of survival will be much higher.
As is my voice right now. Hey, give us a chance, alright? Are you trying to say we can't protect her?
They've done a pretty good job so far.
Besides, what do you mean chances? You can't guarantee her safety. I don't see why we should hand her over to you. Look, lady, you're not part of the Shinsengumi, so I'd appreciate it if you could keep your nose out of our business, alright?
They had made it quite clear that they weren't interested in Sen's offer. Perhaps they had been a little harsh, but I couldn't deny the warm feeling of being part of a family who was unwilling to let me go.
Oh, what about you, Hijikata? You've acknowledged Kazuma's strength. Surely you must at least consider the princess's offer. Please, give Naomi to us. So glad that at least she doesn't have the high-pitched
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, she has a very lower voice.
Much lower woman's voice.
Yep. Kimigiku's smile froze.
I don't know how strong our enemy really is, but that doesn't change the fact that we'll protect her. In the name of the Shinsengumi.
Thanks, guys.
Besides, you're a demon too. Why should we trust you? Do you know who you're speaking to? Princess Sen is a descendant of the Suzuka Gozen. Did I pronounce that one correctly?
Yes.
Good. Kimigiku, please.
Kimigiku, please. That is not necessary.
Her tone was calm and friendly, but it left no room for argument.
I agree with Hijikata. She should stay here with Shinsengumi.
Kimigiku glared at Sonnen but said nothing.
As she carefully presses her hand up against her collarbone
Yep.
and looks at him slantedly.
How dare you?
I see. That is a problem, then. There's no way I can convince you.
Kondo had remained silent for most of the discussion, his arms folded in thought, but at last he spoke.
His arms are always folded in thought.
Yep.
I swear the guy just can't make decisions.
Yeah, he's not so great at that.
Yukimura, what do you have to say about this?
Me? Well, I
see. It must be difficult to discuss with an audience. You ought to speak with Princess Sen alone. What the hell, Kondo?
Hijikata wasn't the only one to object. Most of the room rose up in protest. Must protect this child!
There should be at least one witness. The princess may take Kimigiku as well, of course.
Kimigiku.
Kimigiku.
Yep.
No, that's not necessary.
Kondo swept his gaze across the room.
Yukimura has shown herself to be reasonable. I've no doubt she won't do anything foolish. Am I correct, Yukimura?
Of course, I would never betray you. Any of you.
Well, if Kondo says so.
His words spoke for the rest of them as well. They might not like it, but Kondo was the chief. What he said went.
You won't steal her away the moment the two of you are alone, will you?
Probably not.
You needn't worry. I am not like Kazuma.
I'll be fine. Sen isn't a bad person.
We think.
As far as we know.
Why, thank you, Naomi.
She smiled. Bum bum bum.
More talking in her voice?
Yep. Is your voice gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Actually, really, unlike some people
You're getting a good tone.
Unlike some people who are like, I can't do anything but my own voice, otherwise my voice hurts. I don't have that problem. Ever.
Yep.
Like, ever.
I know I've given you a terrible amount of things to think on this evening, and I'm awfully sorry.
Now that we were alone, she was less formal. This was the Sen I'd met in Kyoto all those months ago. No, it's
I
alright.
feel like I should dress drag for this.
I'm sorry about, them. They said some pretty mean things.
Well, that's to be expected, I fear. I was asking rather a lot of them, and frightfully suddenly.
It's true.
Not many humans would accept the existence of demons so readily.
We met a few.
But enough of that. On to business. What do you say to my offer? Have you thought on it?
I had indeed. If Sen had come to me when I'd first arrived in Kyoto, I might well have taken her up on her hospitality. But now...
The Shinsengumi seems to believe that it can protect you. Though I do not doubt their dedication, I confess I do doubt their ability.
Well,
Dot, dot, dot.
perhaps what she said was true. To stand against the demons would be no mean feat. The Shinsengumi was powerful and skilled. I'd seen them face overwhelming odds and emerge victorious, but always those odds had been only human. The strength of even a single demon was something great and terrible. Of that there was no doubt. We had all seen so firsthand, and some had even lost their lives to that strength. Even the captains had nearly fallen before them.
Will you come with us then? It is dangerous for you to remain with the Shinsengumi.
Sen. Her eyes were serious but warm and honest. Whatever else she might be, her concern for me was real. Thank you, Sen, but... I hesitated.
Is there a reason you wish to stay?
My boyfriend is here! Yeah.
Oh my. One of those gentlemen, perhaps.
Oh, knowing
Oh,
eyes. Saw right through us. Just like last time.
Yep. What? Her question had been entirely innocent, although it had caught me off guard. I couldn't possibly lie to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I nodded and did my best to look confident.
I see.
She smiled.
Well, I shan't ask who, but I can certainly understand your dilemma. That being the case, I could possibly tell you to leave.
And, let's see. I don't know, we've got another 2 minutes maybe?
Okay.
We'll try and finish out this scene. Thank you for waiting. The common room was just as we left it, and every head swiveled to look at Sen and me as we stepped back in.
Whoop.
Whoop! It didn't look as though they'd tried to kill each other in our absence, which was something of a relief. That's nice.
I can just picture door slides open. Here's like 10 people standing there. Well, nothing like Johnny on spot here.
Yeah.
Have you reached a decision?
Before I could speak, Sen stepped forward.
After some discussion, we've decided to leave things as they are.
Sen. She bowed deeply to the captains.
Are you sure, Your Highness?
Quite. For now, I believe it is of utmost importance to prioritize Naomi's desire.
Desire. Careful choice of words there. Very well. Shinsengumi accepts responsibility for her well-being.
No sooner were the words out of his mouth than all the captains rushed toward me.
I'm being rushed.
Group hug!
Just relax and leave it all to me. Oh, I'm sure Shinpachi will give you all sorts of other things to worry about. Still, glad to have you around. What kind of girl would want to stay here?
A weird one.
This doesn't make sense. You're some kind of special guest. You get the same treatment you always have. Okay.
As we knew. Right. Thank you, all of you, for letting me stay. And now we're out of time.
We're out of time.
But hey, a better conclusion this time.
Better conclusion. No cliffhanger.
No cliffhangers this time.
Well, thank you all for watching, guys. You know, push that little subscribe button, rate it, comment,
Like us?
like us.
Do you like us? Please like us.
Don't like us. We're horrible at this.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.